Hey there, folks. Random biography time. As some of you know, I grew up in a house with 8 cats and only 6 people. They outnumbered us. And I grew up 6 blocks from the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm going to talk about that second part today because I feel like growing up near the ocean, it would seem amazing to someone from, the interior of the continent, which is most of it. To me, obviously, it was completely normal. It was just, that's what downtown looked like. And as a kid, I would sometimes wander on down to the docks and sort of half-heartedly fish, but mostly I was just there to hang out because I like being near the water. And I still miss being near the water, even though I haven't been near in Summerside in since 2008, so almost 20 years. And I guess once it's in your blood, it just stays there. It just becomes part of you. And yeah, I would go down and I would hang out near the water. I would play on the rocks next to the water. I would they were like everything else on Prince Edward Island. They were sandstone, which means they weren't particularly solid, which means I could break pieces off of them and skip them. So they made for excellent skipping stones, but you wouldn't want to build a house out of sandstone. Trust me. If a child can just snap a piece off of it. And yeah, sometimes I would try and fish, but I didn't really care whether I caught anything or not. I knew the absolute basics, and I didn't try very hard. I don't even eat fish. I don't like seafood. I don't like the fishy flavor. So instead of taking it home and cleaning it and cooking it, I would often just throw the fish back. Oh well. I guess that's a lucky day, Mr. Fish. And yeah, I mean, obviously this was during summer. An entirely different environment in the winter when everything was frozen over. But sometimes I would go down there in the winter as well. And a few times I did something very stupid, which is I walked across the ice to Holman Island. It was an island that's just in the bay. And that was probably not smart. That was probably, I could have fallen through the ice. But I mean, I'd seen the safety videos about, how to check whether the ice is something you should stand on, and so I knew not to step on anything that was a different color than the rest of the ice, and I knew not to step on ice that's covered in snow because you don't know what's under there, and things like that. So I was probably okay, and it was a fun little trip. And lately I've been thinking about this period in my life because it was definitely a period in my life when I was a much less depressed child. And then the bullying started really bad when I was in grade 3. And I became a much more depressed child. And that's when I started not feeling safe anywhere, and so I just stayed home. That was when I went from being a kid who would amble around the neighborhood and go downtown or just bug adults that were working in stores. Bug them, charm them, I like to think. And I was active. I was pretty cheerful, and then the bullying just killed that. I just didn't feel safe anywhere anymore. And that's when I became a kid that went straight to school and straight home, and otherwise almost never left the house. It was sad, really. And I've been trying to process that recently, which is why I keep bringing it up, because apparently I can only process my emotions by talking about them or writing about them, and that means it gets shared with you lovely people out there, and the people who read my blog, frubus.substack.com. Love to see what the captions are going to do with that this time. No, word speak good me. Anyway, so yeah, I grew up close to the ocean, and I still miss it. I still feel like it's a part of me. I still feel, I still find being near the water soothing. I don't know why, but it's like the ocean just absorbs all my spare emotion, all my emotional overcharge, and it calms me down. And you know what? It's going to be a hot weekend. And this would be a great weekend to get Julian to drive me to Gary Point Park, which is the nearest beach, and let me just hang out by the water for a little while. I'm pretty sure I'd be able to find somewhere relatively close to the parking lot, or at least someplace you can drive up where there's a bench or a picnic table or whatever, and I can just hang out there for a little while, soak up the sun, enjoy the sea air, and just like reconnect. I mean, technically, this is the Pacific, and I grew up next to the Atlantic, but, you know, water is water. I guess that's all from me for today, folks. I will talk to you nice people again tomorrow. Bye-bye.